Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday the 5th of December 2021. We're going to start off today's video with this from londonnewsonline.co.uk and it's their 5 takeaways. 5 takeaways from Millwall's 3-1 win over Birmingham. Phobie looking alone here as Riot clocks up 100 league games as Lions boss in style. Millwall moved back to within 3 points of the Championship playoff places after a 3-1 win over Birmingham City yesterday. Here are Rich Corley's 5 takeaways from the match. Ton up for Rowett. Gary Rowett made it 100 league games in charge of Millwall, and it turns out to be thoroughly enjoyable afternoon for the manager. The news that Ryan Leonard and Daniel Ballard will be out for the next 3 months was a real downer heading into the weekend, so a vibrant performance at the Den was just the tonic required. Millwall's players delivered on that front. Rowett's league record since replacing Neil Harris is 37 wins, 37 draws and 26 defeats. That gives him an average points per game of 1.48. A rare 2-goal cushion. The Lions rarely win by more than 1 goal. In fact, this was the first time they managed to do that this season. You have to go back to the final home game of the previous campaign, 4-1 over Bristol City in a fixture that was effectively a dead rubber for the last occasion that happened. The time before that, February, and a 2-0 victory again against the Blues. If it hadn't been for Neil Etheridge's heroics in a Birmingham goal, Mill could have easily added a couple more to their haul. We've had 10 shots on target, which is unheard of for us, said Rowett. Phobie impresses. The Stoke City loanee didn't get on the score sheet, but make no mistake, he played a huge part in the outcome. Troy Deeney produced a bang-tidy finish to give Birmingham brief hope of comeback, but it was the Lions' number 23 who really caught the eye. Headed a first half chance narrowly over, and Etheridge twice repelled second half efforts. His hold-up play was on point, and Birmingham's back line just could not subdue him. Phobie has already easily reproduced more in his 17 league matches this season than Kenneth Zohore, who arrived on a temporary deal from West Brom, managed over the entire last campaign. If Bennett can keep playing at around this level for the remainder of the season, then it bodes well for Millwall finally cracking that top 6. That's entertainment. I'm going to level with you. I didn't head to the Den yesterday expecting it to be a classic, but it was a highly enjoyable watch. Part of that was down to the home supporters who were bang up for the match and generated an excellent atmosphere, and the players produced as they ended a 4-match winless spell, although only one of those was a defeat. The crowd of 14,324 was their second highest attendance of the season, only 48 people shy of the gate against Derby County. The fact that Mill clicked on the front foot ensured there was a steady stream of goalmouth incidents. You would think that plenty of those punters will be back for the Preston match on December 18. Indeed. Central midfield to gel. One of Rowett's big calls was to bring George Evans into his starting lineup, with George Saville dropping to the bench. Evans made the most of his first start since the Stoke match, playing just 8 minutes in the 6 fixtures that followed, and capped it off with a fine finish past Etheridge on his weaker left foot. It would be absolutely remiss not to talk about Billy Mitchell as well. The 20-year-old has now completed 8 90 minutes back-to-back in the league, and he had the most touches, 69, of any Millwall player. Mitchell also had an 85% pass success rate, the best of any player apart from the substitute Michael Keftenbeld. The Dutchman had a 100% record but only made 2 passes. Indeed, some interesting things to think about there. There are 5 takeaways, and what I was thinking about before I started recording this video about this game. I think, without doubt, that game yesterday was probably the best game since Rao has come in, since he's been manager in wherever it is now, 2.5 years, or whatever it is, 2 years. Well, they say 100 league games, so like literally, I think this is the best game we've seen out of him. And I hope a few things have clicked and he's figured a few things out, because that's what we wanted more of. That's what the fans were saying. how we should be playing on the front foot, attacking, taking it to them, whoever they are, if it's Birmingham, if it's Peterborough, if it's Bournemouth, even if it's Fulham, take it to them. Get the crowd on your side and take it to them, and that's what we wanted to see. And I think that generally was the probably so far the highlight of Gary Rowett's Millwall career. That was the best game since he's been in charge. I don't know, do you agree with that? Maybe you don't. If you don't, leave a comment below and tell me which game. There probably is a game that I'm not remembering, but I think this is probably as good as it's been so far. So moving on now, another story from londonnewsonline.co.uk about yesterday's game. That's Troy Deeney. He's been saying some nice things about us. So Millwall is a proper football club. I love the grief with the fans. Birmingham City striker Troy Deeney has described Millwall as a proper football club and had no issue with being a focal point for the home supporters in Saturday's match at the 10. The experienced striker had half the deficit early in the second half with a superb finish. Mario Wallace and Tom Bradshaw had given the Lions a 2-goal cushion. That was restored George Evans curling it at the top corner. Deeney, asked by the South London Press about attracting the attention of the Lions support, said, "I love coming back to proper football clubs. And what I mean by that is the fans are fanatical. I love it. You've got it here, you've got it at West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle. They are ones where the towns are based off football. They were giving me grief before the game and at half time. When I scored, I gave a little bit back, and then at the end, it's respectful, isn't it? You clap them, and that's it. As long as no one goes across the line, then it's all good fun. It's part and parcel of the game. That's why we love it." I had about 15-year-olds trying to shout at me at one point. That was interesting. But Deeney could take no pleasure from his own quality strikers. Millwall took all the points. "I'm going to be miserable now," he said. "I'll probably go home and kick the Christmas tree over us." So the Grinch is back in the building. "The frustration is we let 2 goals in to start off. We got it back to 2-1. And we were on the front foot, but we never really kicked on with any dominance or composure. Then we let in another soft goal. We will look back and say they are 3 good goals. We look at it from a defensive point of view and say they were soft ones. Everyone could have been avoided. I'm in this game to win and play well. I scored a nice goal but lost 3-1. I'm still going to be a miserable bastard when I get home." So there you go, Troy Deeney saying some nice things about the Millwall fans. It's interesting. So we're going to finish the news section of this video with this reminder. So the 3rd round draw of the FA Cup is tomorrow. It's Monday night, and this is from bbc.co.uk. It's 3rd round draw on Monday. Which ball is my club? The draw starts at 7 PM GMT before the final 2nd round tie between Boreham Wood and St Albans City is live on the BBC Sport website and app, BBC Radio 5 Live, ITV4 and FA's social media channels. Yeah, there is a game. Boreham Wood and St Albans, that game is on ITV. I'm not sure if it's on ITV or ITV4. Probably ITV4 because that's what the draw's on. I think that game tonight, Monday night, will be on ITV4. And quite remarkably, if you scroll down, so these games will be played between the 7th and 10th of January 2022. And a little reminder, Leyton Orient, Alex Mitchell did not play for them yesterday. So there you have that. We are ball number 28, and you can see all the numbers as I scroll down. Now a lot of people will always say they want West Ham, but they seem to have been transformed into an actually half decent football club now under David Moyes. So that would be a bit worrying. Now I'm sure people want it not for anything to do with football, but that's I don't want to get into that. We've got Yeovil Town there, Dan Moss's Yeovil Town. Did you watch them? They were on BBC. They were the live game on BBC. Yeovil versus Stevenage Town. Saturday night. Did you watch that? Dan Moss was pretty decent from the highlights that I saw. And Yeovil won 1-0 and they are now in a draw. And quite remarkably, so there's only two teams, two ties that are all. The game that hasn't been played yet, the one that's being played on Monday night, and Ipswich Town or Barrow, where that draw caused the Ipswich Town manager to be fired. So they're looking for a new manager, and some people are saying Neil Harris might be up for that, seeing as it's local to where he lives. But you can see here, so there's only one. There's only so far only one number where you won't know who you're playing. Now, if the game tomorrow night isn't is a draw as well, there's going to be two. But interestingly, so Charlton are 57, Harrogate Town 64. There are some non-league teams in it, I believe. So Yeovil non-league. I think Kidderminster are non-league. We got Chelsea 13. I don't know. Are we still interested in the FA Cup? We had our little runs in it before. I'm sure the entire focus would and should probably be on getting into the playoff places. Whoever we draw, it would be nice if it was at home and if it was against a lower team. So one of these numbers between 45 and below. So that would be nice. So 7 o'clock, ITV4, BBC Sport websites, apps. If you want to know, follow it. Just letting you know in advance. So now we're going to move on to the stats from that game yesterday. If you're not going to be watching that, thank you for watching so far, and goodbye. If you're still watching, we're going to look at the XP over the length of the game, and you can see here, this is what we like to see. The staircase effect, especially in the second half. Now you would think we're 2-0 up. We're 2-0 up. So going into the half time, 2-0 up. You would imagine they would say, okay lads, keep it tight, blah blah, don't do anything silly and we'll see the game out. Nah. The chances got even more in the second half. Even more chances. There was a massive period. So things to know here, the blue line, we scored with our first effort on goal. We stopped Birmingham, or they didn't create anything until they didn't have a shot on goal or on target that measured an XG until whatever that's 25th, 24th minute, and it's just a little tiny blip that goes up. So for 24 minutes they did absolutely fuck all, but also that coincided with us. So we had in the first half, our period between 20th minute to when we scored the second goal, we didn't have another shot on goal. Big flat line, blue flat line. So we scored with our first goal. We had a period where we didn't do anything, and then bang, the header goes in from the corner. Van Dabby Dozy. So we're 2-0 up going into half time. Do we shut up shop and come out second half? No. We carry on, all guns blazing, and the shots just go up and up like a staircase. A couple of minutes we have a shot on target. A couple of minutes more we have another one, and then another one, and then another one. And after about what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 11 shots, we score again. And you can see the chances. So there's, if you look at the yellow line, there's two sections where they have like a little zigzag, tiny little zigzags. That looks to me like some kind of goal mouth scramble where they have a shot, it gets blocked, they have another shot. It seems to be in like quick succession. So it might be goal mouth scramble or set piece, corner, with the secondary balls coming back in immediately, that kind of thing, on around about the 31st minute, and then around about the 57th minute, and that's when they scored. They scored at the end of one of them, but then they flatline, and then they have very not very good chances, Birmingham, in the yellow line as it goes along into the second half. But we just all guns blazing, and we keep going until I think round about when the substitutions are made. That's when we decide to just see the game out around the 78th minute, and it was just boo, just flat lines until the end, and then we have one more shot right at the end, but it was done and dusted by then. So cool. And you can see here, so we scored 3 goals, but the XG was 2.5. So based on the chances that we had, we were expecting 2.5 goals. We got 3. So that's better than what we could have got, should have got, based on the quality of chances we created. I haven't seen that in one of these graphs for one of our matches for a very long time. For a very long time. Birmingham, they should have got 1.4. They only got 1. So that is interesting there. Yeah, I'm liking the look of this. So moving on now to Infogol.net, they give the XG in the middle above the red FT as 2.29 to Millwall, 1.17 to Birmingham. And there's the match events, the 4 goals, Murray Wallace 10 minutes, Bradshaw 41, Troy Deeney 56, George Evans on 73. And they got 2 bookings, we didn't get any. They made a substitution at half time. They were 2 goals down, they had to do something. 10 minutes later they score, okay. But like I said, we kept on rolling, steaming them. You can see the substitutions come. So they made a change in the 80th minute. So I think that probably anticipated what happened to us when we decided to see the game out for the last 10 minutes or so, when they made that change, bringing on Chuck Sanike, Scott Hogan, and then think, okay, they've got fresh legs on now. We need to do a bit of game management, and then we make our own changes. Wallace comes off, Jed Wallace comes off for Kieftenbeld. Defensive change, Malone for Pierce. Defensive change, they shift things around. I think Murray Wallace goes out that way. Bradshaw off, Bennett on, bit of fresh legs up front, and cause a bit of danger on the break. So yeah. In terms of, I'm not going to look at the lineup because I don't like it on this website. We're going to look at the numbers. So possession for Millwall 55 to 45. Attempts on target 9 to 3. Attempts off target 3 to 5. Block shots 7 to 8. I believe that's how many shots you had that were blocked. So 7 shots we had that were blocked. 8. We blocked 8 of theirs. Goalkeeper saves 2 to 6. So their goalkeeper really did have a good game keeping them in that game. Total passes 365 to 350, so pretty even. There or thereabouts. And completed passes 249 to 234. Corners though 11 to 5, and we did score from 2 corners. One was a well worked set piece play, and the other was just mildly out swinging Scott Malone, met by Murray Wallace. Fantastic stuff. Just ghosting in there. Offsides 2 to us, 0 to them. Fouls 9 to 12. Yellow cards 0 to 2. So let's look at the XG map. This should be interesting as we had a lot. There you go. Nearly every single shot we had was inside the area. So that seems to me that something else that they were working on. Just get the shots, get into the area, then get a shot away. Because they did, Gary Rowett did say, if you see my video yesterday, they were working on moving players around. And if you've seen the highlights, you can see Jed Wallace doing little dinky passes into space. Not just, but of course he knows, and the other Mill player knows, oh, I'm going to pass it here, you run there. But the Birmingham player doesn't know what's going on, so they just follow the ball, they follow the Millwall runner who's running onto the ball, and then that moves everyone around. So I think they were doing that and then getting into the box and getting some decent chances in. So they weren't shooting out from outside the box. There was just one. It was George Evans, 16 minutes. So they really were working the ball, trying to move people around to open up space. So that was interesting. You can see here Birmingham, pretty similar, but their chances are a lot poorer. They only had one really good chance. That was Chucksaniki right at the end. That did not go in. But this one here, Troy Deeney's, did go in. That was a 5%er, but that went in. And they had a lot more long-range shots out here from outside the area. Fairness rating, was that a fair result? You can see it there, 88.61. Yeah, that was a fair result apparently. So that, I like the look of that. That looks fantastic. So let's look first half. So first half, you can see. So first half, we didn't really do that much, but we scored 2 goals, 2 good chances that probably should have. They're 50-50s. Like 5 out of 10 times this is going in. Bradshaw's one, and Murray Wallace's one. Yeah. And then second half, a lot more. But it seems to be down the sides. So I think this is where they were moving the players around more. And there's 3 little shots here where the goal was scored. So that's the goal, George Evans there. There's Benikofobi there. There's Murray Wallace there. That's pretty interesting that they're all 3 different players had 3 shots all grouped together within a yard of each other. That is interesting there. Whether they were told to do that, I don't know. But it's interesting. Yep, so there you go. Fantastic stuff there by Millwall. Moving on now to whoscored.com, and you can see if you look on the right, you can see the man of the match, Murray Wallace. Not far behind him, Danny McNamara, George Evans, Scott Malone, all pretty similar. Troy Deeney there for the other opposition. Millwall created a high number of chances relative to their possession, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities through individual skill, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces, were strong at finishing. Boom, that's what we want to see. Played with width, had a large quantity of possession in their opponent's half, attacked down the right hand side, had a high shot frequency when in possession, favoured crossing the ball. Fantastic stuff there. So here's the attempts. 19 to 16, 11 to 12 open play, 8 to 4 set pieces, and 19 shots, 3 goals. That's 15% conversion rate. That is as good as it gets for us. That is fantastic. And if we can do that every week, we will be, never mind playoffs, we'll be finishing in the top 2 if we can do that every week. So here's the attack zones. Not a lot going through the middle. Shot directions, shot zones. Yeah, we did make a point of shooting when we were in the 18-yard box by getting in the 18-yard box, getting in behind them, getting around them, moving them around. Player positions. Interesting. So that George Evans there, 28. So he's playing a bit deeper there, staying in the middle. So not only was it George Evans in for Saville, it was a kind of different formation with George Evans sitting back, being more further back than George Saville would be. Maybe that helped out. Maybe that was the key to what happening. Let the if 3 attackers up front do the attacking, and get your midfielders to be in the midfield. maybe that was the situation there. Let's have a look at passing types. What did we do here? So they give it as 391 to 367, 26 crosses to 18, 0 to 2 through balls, long balls 72 to 62, and short passes 293 to 285. Our average passing streak was only 3 to their 4. Millwall on the left hand side in red or in orange, which looks a bit weird, but this is how this website does it. The home team is always in the red, orange, and the away team is in blue. So that's how it goes. We will now look at. We've seen the match events, so let's look at what happened, what occurring. So if you look at the top by the club badges, you can see the average player rating for the teams, and it's 7.09 for Millwall, and it's 6.59 for Birmingham. And if you look down on the pitch, you can see every single Millwall player bar Bart Biakowski and the substitutes got 7 or above. This, I really think this was probably the best performance from Gary Rowett managed Millwall team so far. I really do. When you've got all your outfield players getting 7 or above, that is quite the achievement. So there you go. So Murray Wallace 7.9, Evans 7.8, McNamara 7.8, Malone 7.7, and a lot better from Jed Wallace there, 7.1. He really was a lot better in this game than he was in the previous 2 games, where he was kind of absent and a bit aloof. You had to be reminded that he was actually playing. Not yesterday. So this is total shots, and wow, total shots from Total Football. Nearly the whole of the Millwall outfield having multiple shots. That includes headers, because you can see Jake Cooper and Murray Wallace 3 each. That is, that's what you want to see. Everyone on the pitch having shots except for McNamara, Hutchinson and Biakowski, which is interesting. Possession wise, in terms of who put their foot on the ball, now Mitchell 7, Malone 6.1, yeah, and that was the most of anybody on the pitch, any other individual player on the pitch, except for Graham. For I don't know, there's McCree as well. Pardon me. Pass success percentage. So who had the best pass in? Billy Mitchell 85. Yeah, this is like as the South London Press mentioned in their report. Phoebe 64, Cooper 58, Murray Wallace 59. Okay. And Biakowski 29. Yeah, there's his goal kicks again. But he knocked his score down below 7. Dribbles 9 and 9. And there we go, Billy Mitchell the dribbler. Aerials 1. They won more aerials than us. That's unusual. 26 to 19 they out jumped us all. Djukovic, when he came on, 5. That was it probably. Now if we would have brought Matt Smith on, that would have probably tipped that in our favour, but that's not the way we were playing yesterday. But you still got Wallace and Cooper with 5 each, Bradshaw with 3. Not bad stuff, huh? Tackles, we were out tackled as well, 14 to 16. So, but everyone on the pitch having a tackle except for Bradshaw and Biakowski. So that's what you want to see. Not a lot of tackles going in there, apart from McNamara. It's interesting. So corners 11 to 5. Phoebe took a corner. Well, that's weird. Is that after both of them got subbed off then? Interesting. Dispossessed. That's phobia 3. Yeah, it's always the attackers getting dispossessed. So there you go. Let's just scroll through more stuff now in terms of a list. So let's have a look and see how close that really was. 7.92. So they rounded up George Evans. It was actually 7.8 for Danny McNamara, 7.75 for George Evans. You can see the top 5 players for Millwall were all involved in the goals. So I imagine being involved in a goal bumps your score up a lot. We've got the 3 goal scorers. Murray Wallace number 1, George Evans number 3, Tom Bradshaw number 5, and the 2 assists. Danny McNamara 2nd, and Scott Malone 4th. And the other person who had the other assist, Hutchinson, he's just below 7, 6.98. So they rounded that up as well. But and the 3 lowest rated players, as they should be, the substitutes, because they don't really get a lot of time to do anything on the pitch. And if they get a higher score than the person they've replaced, that is not good for the person they've replaced. So there you go. Pardon me. So let's have a look at the touches. So as we've seen, 69 touches for Billy Mitchell. Everyone was involved. Everyone was involved. Top 5 players with 60 touches or more: Murray Wallace, Jed Wallace, Scott Malone, Danny McNamara not far behind, 68. Not shying away from it. So he was told by Gary Wright, if you want to be in the team, got to be more attacking. There you go, doing it. Shots. Let's have a look now. Shots on target. That's some decent numbers there. That is some decent numbers. 3 shots, 2 shots on target. 3 shots, 2 shots on target. Scott Malone 1 and 1. Jed Wallace 2 and 1. George Evans, Murray Wallace, Jake Cooper. Defenders and midfielder 3 and 1. Not bad. And the one that was on target went in. So Murray Wallace 1 shot on target, goal. George Evans 1 shot on target, goal. Fantastic stuff. Unscheduled touches, poor ball control. Yeah, that happens with the strikers because they're trying to do stuff up front. They usually got two players on them, or in the vicinity. They're quite often surrounded, so I won't read anything into that. Defensively, let's have a look to total tackles. There wasn't a lot of tackling, except for Danny McNamara. Interceptions. Okay, clearances. Wallace, Cooper, McNamara, cool. Block shots, Cooper, Wallace, Hutchinson. And who gave the fouls away? Okay. Passing wise, let's have a look. We had the most passes. Yep, Billy Mitchell 52. Accuracy for 84. That is pretty decent. That to have the most passes, to have that high an accuracy, that is a very nice indeed. And strolling down, not anyone nearly as good as that. I suppose Jed Wallace 35.74. It's not too bad. The others are not really that good. We've got Bart here again with his low accuracy, his goal kicks, doing that, messing up his score, messing up his stats. So it doesn't look like he's doing well, but he makes a save, so who cares? Crosses and accuracy. 12-4, 6-1 for Jed Wallace again. Danny McNamara 4 and 1. So we only had 3 players eating accurate crosses. Okay, long balls and accurate long balls. There you go, 16 and 4 for Bart Biakowski. 13 and 4 for George Evans. 10 and 4 for Hutch. 8 and 3 for Murray Wallace. Danny McNamara 6 and 0. Billy Mitchell 6 and 4. Impressive again, Billy Mitchell, impressive. Okay, So let's just go back and have a look at that. Fantastic stuff. Let's have a go back and look at this. Every single outfield player 7 or above. Fantastic stuff. This is probably, like I keep saying, this is the best game so far on the go route, I believe. Unless you can remember one that was better. If you do, leave it down in the comments and let me know. This is what we wanted to see. Now, how much of this was Millwall? How much of it was Birmingham? You can only beat what's put in front of you. They had a good goalkeeper. He kept him in the game, but some of the other players are not too good. So we'll see when we play Peterborough in a week's time. Don't forget the FA Cup draw, 7 o'clock. Tomorrow's video will be about that, and Lone Watch as well. So thank you for watching and goodbye.